This is the roll kit structure which I have imported through IGS file. So now I'll show you how to start the geometry editing for generating a 3D mesh. We'll directly see how to generate 3D mesh. First, as we know that these are hollow pipes. So press F5 from your keyboard. F5 is used for mask. This is a mask panel. So click on F5 from your keyboard and mask any of the surfaces and say mask. Then click on reverse. So here I want to show you that all these are hollow pipes. Okay, so we can see these all are hollow pipes. So now I'll say unmask all. So I'll open the geometry, and now to generate a 3D tetra mesh for these type of components, we required a complete hollow structure for both inner and outer surfaces, so that along the thickness of the component the tetra mesh should get generated. Otherwise, if the structure is not completely enclosed for the thickness and it's hollow, if it's not hollow, then the tetra mesh will not generated as per our requirement. So initially what we will do, we will create one component and name it as outer component or outer surface. Give him one color. So to create a component, you can click on this icon. Well, we will not provide any property to this component and say create. And also again we will create one more component as inner surface. We will provide him one more different color and say create. Now we will organize the surfaces into two different components. So to organize geometry into two different components, you can click on tools page, organize. So go to tools page, organize, to organize models into or surfaces into different components. From make sure you are on collector radio button and then click on the drop box. By default it always take elements, so then click on the drop box and select surfaces, and one by one manually select all the outer surfaces. Select the destination component as outer surfaces and one by one select all the outer surfaces and say move. Once you say move, all these surfaces moves into a new component, that is outer surface. So once you hide that, if you go to model browser and open the component hierarchy tree, and if you just off this, so you can see this is your inner surface. So I'll again move this. So this one is your inner model or inner surface. So I'll change the destination to this as inner surface. So if I move off this one, so now you can see I say return. Now if I on outer and inner only, and I will just mask these two and say reverse. So you can see my inner surface in different component and my outer surface is in different component. So what I will do, why I am doing this, by dividing the surfaces into outer and inner, I will connect all the outer surfaces once, and then I will connect the inner surfaces and once, so the structure will be connected throughout, and along the thickness we can generate the meshing. So right now, as we can see, the structure is not properly connected. So if you can see here the structure is not properly connected. On many locations the structure connectivity is not proper. You can see there is an overlapping. So once you go for meshing of these two, it will overlap the meshing. If I go to mesh this surface for say 2D itself, so you can see the meshing is overlapping. I can change here number of nodes. So these are not properly connected. So that's why we will first convert this into divide the surfaces, and then we will move it to okay. So in this way I have in the similar manner which I have shown earlier, I have divided the complete all the surfaces of this geometry into two different components. That is, one is outer surfaces and second one is inner surfaces. So now I'll show you that if I only on the outer surfaces, so you can see these are all the outer surfaces. This complete geometry contains all the outer surfaces, and if I off them and on this, so these are all inner surfaces. So you can see by visualization option also, you can click on transparency panel and check the box of outer one and make it a slight transparent, or this, so your color will be visible so that you can see here. There are two different components along the thickness. One is outer one. It is through all the outer surfaces are on the one component and all the inner surfaces are in one component. So in the same manner I have divided the components in outer and inner both. Now I will connect all the outer surfaces with each other and all the inner surfaces with each other. So now I'll show you how we can connect the outer surfaces and inner surfaces. So I'll say return. Then first I'll go with it's either of the choices, whether you can go with a first for inner or first with outer. So I'll show you first. I'll go with the inner surfaces. So there is one process we will follow to capture the complete connectivity between the all the connections for the inner surfaces, then for the outer surfaces. So there is a process which we will follow. In first step, we'll click on geometry page. You can go to geometry page for the first step in this process. In geometry page, click on quick edit, or else you can click on F11 from your keyboard. It's a short key because it's a repetitive process, so you should always use a shortcut key. Short key is available in HyperMesh. So I'll press F11 from my keyboard and split the surface from here. So I'll pick this option, split surface lines. I will provide the node on one edge and pick the line on the other edge. Again I will pick this node and this line. So I split it down this circular zone, but once I'll revolving it or rotating this model, I'm finding some distraction of other pipes. So what I will do, I'll first mask and only see these two pipes. So I will click on this option. This icon is used to enter the mask panel. Then I'll select these two surfaces only and say mask and reverse. So now on my GUI I'll only see these two rods. So I have splitted this. Now I'll click F2, select from the drop down, I select the surfaces. I'll go to F2, that is delete panel. You can go and click on this icon to enter the delete panel. So there are two ways to enter delete panel. One is F2, another one is by clicking on delete and say delete. So this will delete the surfaces. Now I'll go to shift F9. I'll press shift plus F9 from my keyboard to enter surface edit panel, or you can go to in geometry page, you can go to surface edit. Once you click on here, then we'll go to extend panel, select the toggle from here to extend over edge, I'll click on this toggle to highlight extend over edge. Then click on this drop box and select two distances. Instead of two surfaces, select by distances. Enter the value of distance, say 100 mm. Then select the surface which I want to extend and select the line on which I want to extend this surface and click on extend. Once you click extend, it will intersect the original surface. Then go to trim with surface on planes in this panel. On the same option, go to this sub panel. In this sub panel, there is a second number of option available with surfaces. So click on this first surface and select both the surfaces. Again go to and now click on second one and select the other pair of surfaces and say trim. Once you click trim, it will trim both the surfaces because trim both the surfaces is on. Then again go to delete panel by clicking on delete icon and delete this. Then go to mask, hide this, this and this. Also hide these four surfaces, say mask, and then delete this extra surfaces, say unmask all. So in this way your first connection has got connected. So this is a simple process. Again you can go to F11 for geometry editing by clicking on unsplit, so you can unsplit these unwanted surface lines. So if you want to remove those surface edges, you can go to unsplit. In a similar manner, this is a pipe having two connections. Then I'll show you some more option for three connections. So first of all, I'll go to mask panel F5. Select the three pipes, say mask and reverse. So only these three pipes will be highlighted. Then to work in a better way for these two pipes, you can see these two pipes are connected, but the line of splitting of the surface is different. So I'll go to F11, click on node, from this node to this line, or say this line, or say from this node to this line. I will create one split, and from this node to this line I'll create one split, and I'll just toggle this, means I will suppress this edge because these edges are not required. Again I will follow the same process, that is first I will split up to certain height. This geometry I will split the pipe which I am going to connect. Then go to F2 and delete the surface. Then press Shift plus F9. Go to extend panel. Click on the line to extend over and select the circular lines. It will select the surfaces automatically and say extend. Once you click extend, it will extend the surfaces. Then I'll go to trim with surface plane. Select this second panel surfaces first option. Then click on second option and select both these surfaces and say trim. Once you click trim, it will split both the surfaces and connect it. Then again I will click on F2, delete this surface, then click on F5, mask all the surfaces which I want to capture or retrieve. So I have masked all these surfaces and mask. Again click on delete and delete this surface. So if you say click on unmask all, you can see in this way the geometry has got connected. So earlier there is not all these surfaces are not connected with each other, but now you can see here all the surfaces are connected with each other. So in the similar manner we have to connect all these surfaces. The process will be same. So for the last time I will again repeat this. Or one more thing I want to tell you that generally these geometries are symmetric around certain axes. So you can see as this geometry is symmetric. So now what we will do, we will only do the geometry editing for one half, and then we'll reflect the another half directly. So I'll show you how you can do that. So here I have just updated these two areas. So I'll show you one more. For this is for 3, 2 and 3 pipes joining each other. Then I'll show you 4 pipes joining each other. So I'll again go to F5, say mask and reverse, F11, split the surfaces. Every time I split only those surfaces which are not connected. Then go to delete the surface which is extra. Then go to Shift F9, extend radio button, select the circular edge and say extend. Go to trim with surface and planes. Click on this surfaces, select these two surfaces, say trim, delete this extra surface, go to mask panel, mask all the surface which I am going to keep, say mask, again go to delete panel and delete this, and then click on this for unmask all. Then go to mask panel and say mask return reverse. So only these are you can view, say mask. So only these surfaces you can view. So I'll again go to Shift F9. I'll select extend. Select the edge over extend and say extend. So it will intersect. I'll make it more bigger. So I'll make it say 200 and say extend. Now I'll go to trim with surface and planes. Click on surfaces. Select the surfaces and select all the surfaces which is coming in this location which I want to trim and say trim. Once you click trim, it will trim the surfaces. Now select the surface, extra surface, say delete and say go to mask, mask all the surfaces which we want to have on our geometry, say mask, again go to delete and just delete it, and again say unmask also, it will unmask all the surfaces. So in the same way you can keep on editing the geometry. So once your complete geometry will get connected, then to improve these surface edges which is due to the trimming of the two surfaces, so there are some extra edges available in the geometry. So either you can go to F11 and select unsplit option lines and unsplit the unwanted lines which are available. You can just window key and drag, so it will remove all the unwanted lines which is available in your geometry, and then go to toggle and just toggle these lines. So in this way you can okay, so in the same way you can do the geometry editing for complete geometry. Okay. So once you have done with that for complete geometry, it will take around 1 day to edit the complete geometry perfectly for both inner and outer surfaces. So within a day it will easily will get completed, so it will not take lot of time. It's a very simple process to edit the geometry in HyperMesh. So you can simply edit these geometries and convert it into a perfect enclosed volume, so that the time for meshing and quality of the elements will get reduced drastically. Okay, so Vijendra, if you have any queries